Hey up everyone, and welcome back to the History of Football channel. Today on the channel I'm going to be going back to something that I started about 2 months ago. I looked at every Premier League team's biggest ever league defeat. In today's video I'm going to be looking at every Premier League's biggest ever league victory. So this doesn't include FA Cup games, League Cup games. This is just the biggest ever win that they've had in the league. And this will be for the current 20 Premier League squads, and it also includes Sheffield United. Even though that they're getting relegated, they're going to be included in this video. So let's get started with the first team, and we start with Arsenal. Arsenal's record league victory came on the 12th of March 1900 against Loughborough. They won that match 12-0, and that were in the second division. And interestingly enough, I think their biggest ever loss came against the same opponents about 2 years earlier. With Aston Villa, their biggest ever league win was a 12-2 victory over Accrington Football Club on the 12th of March 1892. And I recently did a video about Accrington Football Club, go and check it out, but that remains Aston Villa's biggest ever league win. On to Bournemouth now, and their record league win was an 8-0 away victory over Birmingham City in the Championship. And this one was quite recently, actually. It was on the 25th of October 2014, and it remains their biggest ever league win. With Brentford, their biggest ever win was in the Football League Wartime League. This was during the Second World War. It came on the 4th of March 1944, and they defeated Brighton and Hove Albion 8-0 at Griffin Park. Brighton and Hove Albion's biggest ever home win was a 9-1 victory over Newport County in the Football League Division 3 South on the 18th of April 1951. Looking at Chelsea's biggest ever league win, they've recorded this twice. On the 9th of May 2010, they defeated Wigan Athletic 8-0 in the Premier League. And then on the 23rd of December 2012, they defeated Aston Villa 8-0 in the Premier League, and that remains their biggest ever league win, which they've managed to achieve on 2 occasions. Crystal Palace's biggest ever league win was a 9-0 victory over Barrow on the 10th of October 1959. Poor Al Barrow is going back a bit, but it remains Crystal Palace's biggest ever league victory. Everton's biggest ever league victory, they recorded this twice. The first came on the 3rd of September 1906, they defeated Plymouth Argyle 9-1, and then on the 27th of December 1930 they defeated Manchester City 9-1, with both Dixie Dean and Jimmy Stein scoring 4 goals apiece, which is the first time that 2 players in the same team had scored 4 goals on the one day. Fulham's biggest ever victory in the league, we have to go all the way back to December 1963. They played against Ipswich Town at Craven Cottage, and they won that game 10-1, and it remains their biggest ever win as a club, but it also is their biggest ever league victory. Now with Liverpool, they've recorded their biggest ever league victory 3 times. The first came against Rotherham Town in the second division on the 18th of February 1896. They defeated Rotherham Town 10-1. On the 12th of September 1989, they defeated Crystal Palace 9-0 in the first division. And then more recently, on the 27th of August 2022, they defeated Bournemouth 9-0 at Anfield. And so on 3 occasions, Liverpool's beaten an opponent by a 9-goal margin. Luton Town's biggest ever league win, we have to go in the time machine all the way back to the 13th of April 1936. It was a 3rd Division South game against Bristol Rovers, and they won that match 12-0. Manchester City's biggest ever league victory was recorded on the 23rd of March 1895 against Lincoln City. They won that game 11-3. Their biggest margin of victory, however, in the league was against Darwin on the 18th of February 1899. They won that game 10-0. Manchester United's biggest ever league win has been recorded on 5 separate occasions. The first came against Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 15th of October 1892. They won 10-1. On the 3rd of April 1895 they defeated Walsall 9-0. Then against Darwin in 1898, 9-0. Then in more recent times, 4th of March 1995 they defeated Ipswich Town 9-0. And the most recent one of all was on the 2nd of February 2021. They defeated Southampton 9-0 behind closed doors during the COVID season. So they've managed to record their biggest ever league win on 5 separate occasions, which is more than any other team on this list. Newcastle United's biggest ever league win, you have to go back a while for this one. They were in the 2nd division in 1946. And they defeated Newport County 13-0, and it remains their largest league win. Nottingham Forest have recorded their biggest ever league victory on 2 occasions. In the 1990-91 season they defeated Chelsea 7-0, and also they defeated Burnley 7-0. However, I couldn't find the year on which this occurred. Now with Sheffield United, they've recorded their biggest ever league win on 2 occasions, and these were quite a long time ago. The first was on the 10th of December 1892. It was a 10-0 away victory over Port Vale in the 2nd division. And on the 19th of January 1929, they defeated Burnley 10-0 at home in Division 1 at Bramall Lane, and that remains their 2 biggest ever league victories. Tottenham's biggest ever league win came on the 22nd of October 1977, and they played against Bristol Rovers in the 2nd division, and they defeated Bristol Rovers 9-0, and this remains their biggest ever league victory. With West Ham United, they've recorded their biggest ever league victory on 2 occasions. On the 19th of October 1968 they defeated Sunderland 8-0, and that was at home at Upton Park. And then on the 8th of March 1958 they defeated Rotherham United 8-0, and this was also at Upton Park. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or just known as Wolves, their biggest ever league victory came on the 15th of April 1938 in the 2nd division. They defeated Leicester City 10-1. It doesn't say whether at Molineux or at Filbert Street, but that's their biggest ever league victory. So that is my video for all the Premier League teams currently and their biggest ever league victory in their history. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Sorry for the lack of videos recently. I've been overseas, plus I've been working and some other things, so the channel's taking a bit of a back seat at the moment, but hopefully I'll have some more videos out in the future. And if you have Instagram, Facebook or TikTok, there's History of Football on there. Go and check it out. I'll put links in the description below. But anyways, this has been History of Football, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Ta-ra for now.